Amblyopia is a very common condition. In fact, some people estimate that up to 2% of the population has some degree of amblyopia. This is something you want to pick up in children at an early age if you can. But what is amblyopia? Basically, amblyopia, all it means is poor vision in one eye for no obvious reason. Here's the idea behind it. When kids are born, for many years, their nervous system is still forming. In fact, their nerves are myelinating throughout the entire body. The nerves inside the brain are still forming. Connections are going this way and that. And the kid's nervous system is still forming until about age 6 or 7, at least when it comes to the eye. Now, you can see this nervous system formation throughout the entire body. For example, a little child can't be potty trained before a certain age. It doesn't matter how smart or a child genius is born, because the nervous system connecting the brain to that area has not quite formed yet. So it doesn't matter how smart a kid is, they just can't do it. Well, the same thing happens in the eye. A third of the brain is devoted to the visual pathway, so you can imagine there's a lot of changes going on as far as the vision. Now, if you have one eye in a child, it doesn't see as well. So maybe it's a little nearsighted, a little farsighted. Maybe the eye has a tendency to turn in, a little cross-eyed, or turn out, or maybe there's a little bit of a cataract. For whatever reason, if a kid has one eye that doesn't see quite as well as the other eye, what they'll do is they'll start to ignore that eye. They'll start to use their better eye preferentially, and the nervous system in the back of the brain will start to form to prefer that eye to the detriment of the poorer seeing eye. And so you'll develop what we call a lazy eye. If this isn't picked up at an early enough age, that lazy eye stays lazy, and it doesn't matter if you fix things later on, you take out that cataract or you fix their nearsightedness. If the wiring forms improperly at a young age, then things are pretty much stuck. And so that's what amblyopia is. So let me show you an example of this, and maybe a video format might make more sense. So at birth, the wiring going from both eyes travels towards the back of the brain, towards the occipital cortex way into the back, and both eyes form together, and the nerves from both eyes kind of mix together, and they form in the back of the brain. This gets cut off in this video, sorry. But what if you have one eye, such as this eye over here, that doesn't see as well? Like I said, maybe there's a cataract, or maybe it turns in, or maybe it's a little farsighted. Well, as the wiring is forming, the wiring from the better eye kind of takes over. It becomes the dominant eye. In many ways, the wiring here is somewhat competitive inside the brain. And it becomes dominant, and this eye never quite sees as well. So, how do you fix amblyopia? Well, if you have a dominant eye, the idea is you put a patch in front of that eye, and by patching one eye, you force that lazy eye to work, you force the wiring to connect into the back of the eye, and you take care of things that way. So, the hallmark of treatment for amblyopia is fixing whatever's wrong with the eye and penalizing the good eye and forcing that lazy eye to work. So, if you have a child, it's probably a good idea to get an eye doctor checked. Certainly they do screening tests in schools to try to pick up poor vision in one eye. By seeing an eye doctor, you can check to make sure that the eyes are in alignment, and certainly dilate the eyes and check for glasses. We can check for glasses at a very young age in children by looking at the red reflex. Unfortunately, amblyopia can be hard to pick up. I mean, a child's not going to tell you they can't see as well out of one eye because they don't know it. They think that that's just how the world works. They see good out of one eye. And so usually when it's picked up, if you pick this up later than, say, age 5 or 6, not much can be done. Patching doesn't really seem to help. So amblyopia, poor vision in one eye, probably a good idea to get a check earlier than later.
For more informative videos like this, visit us at tomokaeye.com. Or if you would like to make an appointment to see one of our doctors, please call 386-672-4244.